Hello, grade 8. Today I will explain a new activity about allergy. This is activity 2 on your book on page 46-47. What is the meaning of allergy? Allergy is the hypersensitivity response of the immune system to foreign harmless substances in the environment. These substances are known as allergens. This means that normally our body's immune system play an important role in protection of our body against diseases and in fighting foreign bodies that can be harmful, for example pathogens such as viruses and bacteria. However, in some people the immune cells are hypersensitive, so they are active against foreign substances which are harmless and do not cause any harm to the body. These harmless substances are called allergens. In this case, when the immune system becomes active against these harmless substances, an allergic reaction is produced which leads to several signs and symptoms of allergy. There are several examples of allergens. Some of them have immediate effects, which means that they lead to symptoms directly after a few minutes. For example, seasonal allergies such as oak trees that pollinate in the spring seasons. So, oak trees pollinate in spring seasons, release pollen grains, which lead to allergic reactions. Other examples are industrial smokes, pet dander, bee venom, or insect stings. These allergens will then lead to the following signs or symptoms, such as sneezing, red itchy eyes, runny nose, shortness of breath, and swelling. Other type of allergens are the ones that have delayed effects, which means that their effect or the symptoms appear after 2 to 6 hours, not directly after a few minutes. These are some textiles and some chemicals. Examples of textiles are wool, latex, silk, and cotton. Examples of chemicals are cleaning materials and hair dyes. These allergens usually lead to eczema, which is a condition where patches of skin become inflamed, itchy, red, cracked, and rough, as you see in this picture. Mechanism of an immediate allergic reaction. This immediate allergic reaction occurs in 2 steps. The first step is called sensitization. During this step, there is a production of immunoglobulin E antibodies by the plasma cells, which means that when the allergen enters into the body, it stimulates the B cell to become a plasma cell and to secrete a specific type of antibodies which are known as immunoglobulin E. These antibodies then will bind on the surface of histamine producing cells called the mast cells. So, as you see in this figure, the allergen binds to the B cells. The B cells become then plasma cells. These plasma cells produce antibodies known as immunoglobulin E antibodies. These antibodies will then bind on the surface of the mast cells. These mast cells are histamine producing cells, which means they produce a substance called histamine, which is found inside vesicles inside the mast cells. Upon the second contact with the same allergen, allergic reaction is obtained. In this case, the allergen will bind to the sensitized histamine producing cells. Then it stimulates the release of histamine, leading to allergic reaction. So, as you see in this figure, the mast cells are previously sensitized by binding of the immunoglobulin E on their receptors on the surface of mast cells. Then, upon the contact with the same allergen for the second time, the binding of this allergen to these antibodies stimulates the release of the histamine from the vesicles inside the mast cells. This release of histamine then results in the signs of allergic reaction. What about medications? There is no cure for allergy, just antihistamic drugs may be used to reduce the symptoms. This means that antihistamic drugs may be used to reduce the effect of histamine and the symptoms resulting from the release of histamine. Moreover, mast cell stabilizers can be used to prevent the process of degranulation, which means that the mast cell stabilizers are used in order to prevent the release of histamine from the vesicles. That is, they prevent the binding of the vesicles containing histamine to the membrane of the mast cells, and thus they are preventing the degranulation process.